What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's Lions Talk Live, and guess what day it is? It is game one of the preseason. The Hall of Fame game is tonight. It's game day for all Lions fans, all Charger fans, all NFL fans. People are going to be gathering around, watching on their teams, or watching on their screens, watching the teams play tonight. And you know what? It's the first real indication that summer is coming a little bit to an end, unfortunately, but football season is soon to be here. That's right. The Lions have 4 preseason games, as you're all probably definitely aware of. And tonight is the first one. We're all going to be chomping at the bit to see all that. Plus, on another note, we got a little bit of a Zadarius Smith update, as you can tell from the thumbnail. We're going to dive into that along with a bunch of other stuff during the main topic of the day. So, hey, get excited. Get ready for some football. All right, before we get into that, before we get into the main topic of the day, 5 headlines now, get us all ready for the game tonight. We got a few real quick things. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making that march for 14,100 subs, and we're roughly, 55 subs, right around there, away from it. So if you can assist with that, man, I sure would be thankful. Thank you for helping on out. Also, if you have a half second of time, reach on over, up, down, left, wherever it is on your screen, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. So if you can give me a help out with that, that would be great, because as you probably know, it helps all content creators out on YouTube anytime you get an interaction. Also, something new here, we're going to support a Do Crew member or two with this one. Are you looking for window cleaning, your home washed, gutters maybe cleaned out? Hey, it is about that time of the year with the start of fall, right? You want to get those gutters cleaned out before winter. Maybe your holiday lights hung up for you. Visit customshinewindowcleaning.com or call Tom and Mackenzie. Hey, two Do Crew members. You can call them. You see the number on the screen, 248-363-1911. They've been servicing, doing this since 1997 in the greater Oakland County area. Give them a call, shoot them a text, check out the website. Hey, you want any of the above done? Your gutters clean, your windows cleaned, maybe the home washed. Go ahead and check them on out. Give them a call. See if maybe you can help support them. After all, they are Do Crew members. So we'll go ahead and put that on the bottom of the screen. If you need that information a little bit more, check them on out. So, all right, with all that done, said, out of the way, let's get the show rocking and rolling and going. After all, it is game day. We got a lot of questions that need answers, and we're going to get some of those answers, at least the first wave of them tonight with the preseason game. Let's get into 5 headlines now. All right, 5 glorious headlines coming our way. Some of the Lions' young players are too out of control right now. Dan Campbell explains why. That's a good thing. A to Z Sports story by Mike Payton. Hey, we can probably all agree it's a whole lot easier in life with the athletes to reel them back than push them forward. Dan Campbell has talked about this ad nauseum, I feel like, this year, because we all know a couple Lions practices have been stopped early. Guys were hitting, tackling when they shouldn't have been. Things were getting pretty heated. Some of that, I think, is just, hey, it's the start of the new year. This team is legitimately jacked up and ready to go after each other. They don't like the taste in their mouths still from the end of the last year's game to the playoff loss to the Washington Commanders. I understand that. You also probably have a whole lot of guys looking around and saying, if I don't go out there and kick some butt, I'm not going to be here in a month. So there's a whole lot of that as well. Dan Campbell talked to the media recently about all the above and said, man, we've got a lot of competition going on for every spot on the Detroit Lions roster. He's having to stop guys, pull them off of each other, and that's maybe one of the best things about having the Hall of Fame game tonight. We got the joint practices coming up, is players for the Detroit Lions stop getting to beat on players from the Detroit Lions and now get to beat on people from the other teams. I think it's a beautiful thing that the guys are that fired up in camp. Yes, Dan Campbell, along with the rest of the coaching staff, sometimes you're going to have to pull them off each other and say, hey, let's save that for the other teams, save it for the regular season. You got a lot of the right personalities here in Detroit. I think we all can agree the Lions do a great job selecting players that fit a certain mindset. They are guys that are going to go out, work hard. They're going to play through probably some bumps, some injuries when the training staff allows. And you know what? You're seeing that happen in practice. Only talking from a coaching perspective, I think it's an absolute win for this organization that you have guys going that hard, that often. That makes them that much better. It makes the whole team better because there's no off snaps. There's no off plays. We talk about a whole lot about what the luxuries the Lions have, having someone like Penei Sewell consistently going up again. It's Aiden Hutchinson. How much Ahmed Hassanin, even though we haven't seen this guy yet. I almost did a main topic of the day of, EA Sports ratings and breakdowns of the Lions rookie class, but, maybe we'll save that for another time because having worked with them once upon a time with some ratings stuff, I can tell you they are pretty dang detailed into everything they go through rating players. And I think some of those ratings come out and it's been pretty spot on. So anyways, getting back to this topic though, I think we can all agree this Lions team's got a lot of depth. It's got a lot of talent and it's got a lot of passion in the practice field. If you don't have passion there, if you don't have people going after each other, you'll never reach all the potential you could have had. So it's a good thing we've got that. All right, next to the 5 headlines now. Let's see what we're watching for in line when the Lions played Chargers in preseason opener. SI.com story by John Macaron. Johnny Mac's got a list of things. He's checking it twice. He's checking out what we're all going to be watching out for tonight. Probably one of the biggest things right off the bat. Hey, the quarterback position. We all know what we have in Jared Goff. We're anticipating what we have with Kyle Allen or Hendon Hooker or whatever it is. But that is going to be one of the bigger spots out there for everybody to kind of watch. Who really is going to ascend and take this backup spot? We've talked about it a little bit this week, so I'm not going to go all over the top with it. Probably the next thing on the list here as we read through his report is the Lions offensive line. There's a whole lot of confidence in both the Lions offensive line tackle positions. Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker still is kind of out, not going to be back till really next week. But with that being said, who's going to back up those guys? Who's also going to start on the interior offensive line? And I don't think we'll get those answers tonight. Most of those guys aren't even going to touch the field tonight. But you're going to want to see and gain some confidence in the backups to all 5 spots. It may just be one of the biggest question marks on this team. I know the Duke crew, you guys bring it up quite a bit. And I'm not saying that's a wrong concern because if you don't have an offensive line in this league, you don't have much hope on offense. We could talk about the Chicago Bears and what they're going through right now. Man, did Brad Holmes really dodge a bullet with Jackson not being re-signed here, going to the Rams, and now he's with the Bears? He's hurt again and out already again for the Bears. How long he's going to miss, I don't know. I'm not going to pay a ton of attention to it since it doesn't directly relate to the Lions. But I think, as you guys point out often, the offensive line is going to be one of their bigger question marks. The other thing for tonight that we're all going to be watching, the new guys to the team. Whether you're talking about the rookies, whether you're talking about the second-year guys ascending, or maybe you're talking about some of the guys that have been signed in the offseason to the team. There's a whole lot of expectations for a whole lot of different players on this Detroit Lions roster. Will they be able to live up to some of the expectations? Will we be able to get our eyes on some guys and feel by, tomorrow morning's show that, this was a great pick, it looks like for us, or a great addition signing? I think we're going to get a whole lot of questions answered. And you know what? Hey, good for us. We'll get some of those things out of the way, feel a little bit better about the team. At least that's my hope. I'm going to really be cheering on some of these games, these preseason games, man. I'm going to be watching probably the end of the fourth quarter just from a developmental standpoint. I selfishly want to see how some of these guys do. All right, next to the 5 headlines down. Hendon Hooker expected to do one simple thing during Lions' first preseason game. Sideline report story by Candace Perez. One simple thing would be improve. Keep getting more and more consistent. there's nobody on the team from the quarterback perspective that probably has more upside potential than Hendon Hooker. And it's nothing against Goff. It's nothing against Allen. Both those guys been in the league a while. They're pretty much refined products. You know what you're getting for the most part. Hendon Hooker, though, he's got all sorts of home run abilities. I think you get that. I get that. I also understand there's some people that don't like him, that think, man, it's time to move off him, trade him, cut him, whatever. That's up to you guys. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's your prerogative. My thoughts, though, and you hear it from different people we talk to, whether it's Hutch Jr., the Sarge, Tony Libretto, or if we get reports from, the beat reporters who are there at the field. You see Hooker make tons of great plays. You also see him miss tons of simple plays. And that's kind of the coup de grace with him, is what are you going to get with him? Well, we'll get some answers tonight. Hendon Hooker, don't make any mistakes about it. He understands there's some pressure on him to really live up to what they drafted, the hype. We all know if he didn't bust up that knee, the Lions weren't, or nobody else was going to get him in the third round. He would have been a second-round pick, maybe a first-round pick. But now it's time for him to ascend and take that next step forward. If he can be more consistent, more assertive, more explosive, put more confidence in the coaching staff and having him on the field, I think he will be the number 2 quarterback. You want to see him take the deep shots down the field. You want to see him scramble. You want to see him complete the simple underneath passes, all that stuff. He's been in the league a few years. He is on a battle to be the number 2 quarterback, and I'm not sure if he's got that really won yet. I think he's got to win it over these next 4 weeks. If he does it, he's probably going to do it. If not, I don't even know if he'll be on the Lions roster by the end of the training camp. A lot of questions to be had with this young man. I'm rooting him on. I think his best days are still to come. Doesn't matter what I think, though. It's what you do on the field. All right, next to the 5 headlines now. Wave of reports detail Aiden Hutchinson's total dominance at Lions training camp. Athlon Sports, story by Nick Meyer. Could have made this the main topic of the day. Didn't, though, because you know what? I think we all have expectations that Aiden Hutchinson is going to be healthy. And I don't care if you talk to Jeff Risdon, had an opportunity to chat with him a little bit. In a nutshell, here's what we're hearing from anybody. I don't care if it's ESPN, Timbuktu Radio, whatever, your mom out there chewing on popcorn watching. Everybody says the same thing about Hutch in training camp. He is killing it. There are no signs of any issues with that leg. And I know when you see they put out some new videos on him, there's going to be somebody that says, man, but look at how he comes out of this turn. And if you turn the light to that angle, it kind of looks like he's doing this or that. Man, I don't know. Here's what I can say. People are having a hard time blocking him. Everybody who's watching the Lions is saying the same thing. Hutch does not look like he's slowed down at all. He actually looks a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. Got a chip on his shoulder. He's playing for a new contract. I understand that. And every athlete that's in that situation, they're probably taking their game to another level because they want to continue their line of employment. I think you get that, and I understand that, and I appreciate that too. The other part is Hutchinson wants to prove there's nothing wrong with that leg, and yes, he wants to get out there and try to just do everything he can to be a defensive MVP frontrunner. I think he's got it with this team. I think you've got enough talent around him, either on that line, in the front 7, or just you could say the entire defense. He's probably going to shine this year. So as long as there's any kind of pressure coming up that middle from somebody else or the end opposite him, I think Hutchinson is all set to put up a monster year. Now, are we going to see that tonight? No, you're not going to see that tonight. Are you going to see that probably this preseason all? Not unless you think the water boy on the sideline, who is Aiden Hutchinson, is doing some impressive work. I think week 1 of the regular season, though, it's setting up pretty nice for Aiden Hutchinson to go out there and do some real good stuff throughout the season. Week 1, week 2, and we already talked about the Chicago Bears. They're struggling on offense. They're struggling with the offensive line now in health. Maybe he can have an 18-sack performance by halftime for week 2 of the regular season. Hutchinson wants to be the best at his position. He wants everybody that says, man, they're going to doubt me now because of this leg. He wants to prove them all wrong. And even Jim Harbaugh, not in this particular news story, but talking about stuff leading into the game for tonight, talked about his former athlete, Aiden Hutchinson at the University of Michigan, and said, hey, he expects Hutchinson is going to put forth this type of year, that type of year. You know, Harbaugh knows him at a level most people don't because he's worked with them for so long. Harbaugh also said, there's nobody on this planet I would bet against less than Aiden Hutchinson. Where is Hutchinson going to be this year? I think he will be a candidate. Not going to say he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but I think he's going to be in the conversation for it for sure. All right, last of the 5 headlines now. 3 key Detroit Lions players struggling early in the 2025 NFL training camp clutch point story by Ben Strauss. Ben Strauss, hey, he's got some concerns about a couple people, and whether or not I couldn't corroborate this with anybody else, so it's just his report. Take it for what it's worth. It's one reporter's opinion, filling out a report and a page for their story. What we can say is there might be some level of confirmations with a few of these things. Let's start it off with this first one. Tim Patrick is off to a slow start in training camp. You've heard reports about Tim Patrick in the red zone doing pretty well. He's not a small dude. He can leap. He can get after it. You've heard some other reports, though, and not just from this particular reporter, that, some of the other wide receivers are looking pretty dang good because they're explosive speed. You could go through a laundry list of guys on the Detroit Lions wide receiver room who look like track stars. And yes, not to reference the Madden game a ton, because I get some of you don't care for it. Some of you do, whatever. But Dominic Lovett, we talked about him last week being blazing fast, doing some stuff in training camp. People that went to the Saturday, loyalty members practice, all said the same thing. 7-on-7 drills. Dominic Lovett was roasting people. Tesla was doing some great stuff too. Lions have a whole lot of competition for those precious 5 to 6 spots on the roster for wide receivers. Tim Patrick, and it's no disrespect to the guy, but everybody else is a track star. You might not exactly be that guy, but he is something that everybody else, for the most part, isn't. He's a big body wide receiver. He can work those sidelines. He gets in and out of breaks. He can even play some tight end, like you saw last year with the Lions. At this point, though, he is listed as struggling in Lions camp. Will that be confirmed throughout training camp? We'll have to wait and see. The next one, 2 guys. He got a 2-for-1. And he also has, Strauss also has Graham Glasgow and Tate Ratledge struggling at the center spot in training camp battle. And this is, if he is correct, this is a big unfortunate thing for the Lions, because I think and I know the most important guy on that offensive line is probably the center when it comes to the communication for line adjustments, anything going on with Goff, any changes to the play, and then obviously leading the middle of the protection for running backs, Goff himself, et cetera, et cetera. You've got a lot of different people putting in a whole lot of chips on the middle of the table for either one of these guys to ascend to the starting center spot. It does sound like in the last 4 or 5 days that Ratledge has been basically moved over to the right guard, and Glasgow is going to assume everything at center. Ratledge, he came out and talked to reporters about 3 days ago and just said, hey, I prefer being guard versus center. It doesn't like it as much. Not that he did horrible at it, but it does sound like the Lions coaching staff saw enough that they said Glasgow is going to be the better fit. We're going to go with that. But Glasgow, as you guys all know, last year he was beat up. In his defense, he played hurt throughout most of the season. The Lions, at least as of yet, have not tried out a ton of people to be the number 3 center. We're going to get some of that, I have no doubt, tonight and throughout the preseason games. Maybe somebody else can ascend to replace Glasgow or Ratledge. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it will be one of these guys. And right now, if I was to put out a sports betting line, I would say it's probably going to be Graham Glasgow. All right, well, that said, done out of the way, we've got to move on now over to the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day, as you can see from the thumbnail, we've got a little bit of a Zadarius Smith update. We've got some news, notes, whatever. It does sound like talking to a couple different reporters, and I got 3 different stories or reporters for you. John Han of USA Today Network. You also have Mike Payton, A to Z Sports, and you get it. There's quite a few different people on this one. Talking to his nephew, Jackson Meeks Jr., Jackson Meeks, he did kind of shed some light on it and said that, hey, he would love to play with his uncle. It's been a dream of his. Also kind of caught himself talking, then kind of backtracked on it a little bit and said, hey, in a nutshell, it sounds like both parties are just a little bit far apart as far as the contract demands. That yes, Zadarius Smith wants to return to the Detroit Lions. Yes, the Detroit Lions want him. But Meeks does talk about playing with this, with his uncle, says that, hey, he's thinking that maybe in time when the contract demands get a little bit closer and closer, or maybe there's less guarantees. How about that? Maybe that's a better way to word it. That he could return. But at this point, the Lions and Zadarius Smith just appear to be too far apart for that to happen. A lot of you guys in the Duke crew have mentioned for some time now that maybe Zadarius Smith and the Lions will work something out after the first week of the regular season. That does seem possible. If some injuries happen to the Lions on the defensive line, that could also maybe push up things. But it's also been talked about in trying to work this story as best I can from different standpoints. It does sound like the Lions don't feel like it's a big need or rush to go sign Zadarius because some of the play of other people at the positions for the defensive ends for Lions, they've been playing pretty well. We already talked about how Hutchinson's been playing. We talked about how Davenport's been playing. We bring up the rookie Ahmed Hassanin. So right there, you got three guys in the rotation. And yes, you're going to add in Alaquin Muhammad and a bunch of other people, Josh Pascal, when he gets back. But let's also bring up this guy who doesn't get talked about nearly enough, and that's Keith Cooper. Cooper has been playing pretty dang impressive in training camp so far. I don't know if he's going to make the team, so we'll have to wait and see in these preseason games. But both him, Nate Lynn, and other people like Pat O'Connor and some of the other guys have been rotated outside, have been playing pretty impressively. Do the Lions ultimately give into the contract demands that it sounds like are bridging the gap, or do they want to bridge the gap between what Zadarius wants and what the team's willing to give? Oh, I think those answers will be coming in training camp as we see the joint practices, the training camp battles, the preseason games. If some of these guys don't produce, I do think that's going to kind of elevate the Lions to either go after Judon or Zadarius Smith. It sounds like Zadarius Smith isn't really moving off his contract demands at this time. Now, if we start getting into week 1, week 2 of the regular season, and somebody hasn't signed him, whether it's Detroit or someone else, then maybe just from a financial standpoint, Zadarius Smith now starts bringing his number down so he can sign with somebody. But according to his nephew, it doesn't sound like he's in any hurry to sign. He's waiting it out. He does want to play in Detroit, but he's not moving off his asking price. And it does sound like that's what the Lions want him to do. They want him to come down and make it a little bit cheaper so he can return. At the end of the day, I guess it's just a wait-and-see situation. I know a bunch of you guys all week long have been asking for a Zadarius Smith update. That's the best I can find from you. And this is, again, coming from USA Today and a couple of different places out there, A to Z Sports. Zadarius Smith, I think, is doing what a lot of vets who are basically his age do. They try to miss as much of training camp as they can. They want to get those regular season paychecks. And you know what? In about 4 weeks from now, he's either going to be a Detroit Lion or I don't think he's going to be at all this season. 4 weeks being after week 1 of the regular season. All right, what say you, Duke Crew? If you had to choose any free agent defensive end right now out there, whether it's Judon, Zadarius Smith, or somebody else I'm not even considering, who would you bring in if you were the Detroit Lions? I would bring Zadarius Smith back because he can shut down the run and get after the quarterback. Judon, I think, gets after the quarterback slightly better than Zadarius Smith. I don't think he's as good against the run. But again, not knowing really what Kelvin Shepard's going to do. Is he going to play more 3-4? Is he going to stick with the 4-3? Is he going to do a multitude of different things? Maybe that affects who they bring in as well. But if you take his nephew for what he's saying and what he kind of slips up and says in some of the interviews, it sounds like the Lions have been talking to him. It sounds like, Zadarius Smith wants to come back here. I think we all appreciate that and understand it. But it does sound like the Lions are offering this and Zadarius wants that. Until that can kind of bridge, he ain't coming back. All right, let's get over to you guys, see what you guys have to say about all of these topics, and maybe just a little bit more. As I scroll up to the top of the screen, who's ready for game day, by the way, man? I'm going to be chomping at the bit to see this thing. Man, the fact that Jen actually wants to watch it, too, that's kind of fun. All right, Michael D. kicking us off with greetings and salutations, Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation point, one pride, woo, and back at you. Michael D., who's ready for some football, exclamation points. Oh, yeah, I think we all are ready for tonight. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew, Z Party, exclamation point, woo. Bo, let me ask you, because I know you watch this a lot and you love your rotations. Do you think the Lions go after Judon or Smith, or just whoever signs first? If there's somebody else I'm not thinking of, because I can't think of anybody else, and I don't think, Trey Hendrickson is an option, who do you think the Lions go after and get? If the Lions get Trey Hendrickson, fine, then probably somebody else is going to have to give up some paychecks for that to happen. Jason, greetings, salutations to the Lions Talk Live believers, exclamation point, this is our time, Levi's Stadium or bust. I agree with that. Jess, game day! Exclamation point. Finally here, and I am so ready for it. I doubt Z comes back. All right, there we go. If he do it at all after week 1, yeah, maybe he does after week 1. Maybe just because he has less guarantees then. Until then, I hope Zadarius Smith's update is that there isn't any. And my 2 main goals were resigning him and the development of the TA and Rakestraw. Yeah, I think, well, Rakestraw, I believe we'll see tonight. I don't think Terry and Arnold will see. And yes, he is nursing up some of that strained quad pull or whatever it is on one of his legs. Big Eddie, good morning. Duke Crew, Ahmed Hassanin will shine like our other rookies tonight. Man, did Tesla dirty. They did. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Maybe we'll do it on the weekend or something like that. But Ahmed Hassanin, the Madden people obviously think he's got some abilities because his grades or ratings, whatever you say, are pretty dang high. Tyreek Williams was very high, and dang powerful. I'm not going to go through all of them. But to your point, Ahmed Hassanin got some real love from the Madden people, the EA people. So did Dominic Lovett. They had his speed and his acceleration off the chart. Tesla, while he had some stuff, speed wasn't one of them. And that I thought that was odd considering how fast he ran in the scouting combine and the 40 times and everything. I mean, he ran pretty dang fast, but it is what it is. You want to prove him wrong? Go out and do it on the field. All right, getting the game food ready. Hey, look at that already. Because tonight is the night we have been waiting for. I'm stoked. Woo! I think we're all stoked and chopped at the bit, waiting to watch the boys get on the field. Jason, so is it hooker time tonight? I think it will be. I'm sure both backup quarterbacks will get some run. How much run? Who gets what? Well, that's what we'll have to wait and see. Amy, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation points. Woohoo! It's game day. Let's go, Duke Crew. Let's go, our great Lions. Oh yeah, 100%. Yes, I think I want to see what they do on offense. How many kill shots do they throw down the middle of the field? Stuff like that. The preseason games, who cares, man? Open up the playbook. Go for it every play, I say. Dylan, this was the earliest expected time that Zadarius might sign to week 1 or 2. So the window just opened on his return. Yeah, there you go. Just starting out. And again, like we talked about during the main topic, most veterans of his stature want to miss as much training camp as possible because it is a wear on the body. It does take some out of you. Keep as fresh as you can for the regular season. How much time does he really need to get up to speed? I don't know. I guess only the MCDC could answer that. On the non-livers, good morning, Dan. Duke Crew starters, exclamation point. Been working the early shift recently, listening in every day. Hey, thank you for that. Just can't comment as much. Go Lions, one pride. Hey, work happens, man. No wrong, nothing wrong with that. Just thank you for being here whenever you can, my friend. I appreciate it. Parents, I did see what EA said about our rookies. They had Lovett as real fast. Yeah, explosive fast. And it's not just the speed, it's the acceleration. You are hearing about that from everybody who's watching the kid play. I think he's got a shot at making it. And just to Scooby-Doo it, man, if you put Jameson Williams, Khalif Raymond, Tesla, Lovett, Amon-Ra St. Brown all on the field, man, that's a whole lot of speed to guard. And you know what? You better get to the quarterback. Otherwise, somebody's going to feast. And that defense that we're facing is going to probably famine. All right, Silver, good morning. Coach and everyone, same to you. Jason, hooker to Tesla for a couple bombs. I would like to see that. I'd like to see them take a couple of deep shots early, often, and repeatedly throughout the game. Johnny L. Yabba Dabba Duke Crew, good morning to you and back at you. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Yes, sir. Exclamation point. Game day. I don't care if it's preseason. Just glad to have the team back. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there. Silver, until the Hun. If those two stay healthy, you won't have anything to worry about. There we go. Yeah, let's keep them happy. Let's keep them healthy. Drake, Jason Berry, has the team announced who will start a quarterback? I don't believe so, but maybe I missed it. I hope it's Hooker. In my opinion, he has more upside. I would agree with that. Nothing wrong with Allen. He's steady. I get it. You get a lot of good stuff out of a guy who's started, whatever it is, 18, 19, career games. He's been in the NFL a long time. You get it. You got consistency there. But now, can he get the home run potential of Hooker to live up? There we go. We'll find out. Miles Margaret is a Lion. Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Coach Dan, I don't think Z is coming back. Read the story yesterday. Made it sound like the asking price was just too big of a gap. Yeah, and right now, it does sound like that's what's keeping it from happening, is what you're willing to offer versus what he's willing to take. 70, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. The first OTAs, then the start of training camp, now the preseason game. The season is getting real. Exclamation point. Go Lions. You're not wrong. it's the next progression. It's the last progression on the scale until we get to the regular season. All right, Brent, good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. Can we keep Z in the D? Question mark. Sure hope so. Exclamation point. Woo! Let's see what unfolds before our eyes in time. And good to see you this morning, Brent. Jason Drake, I really love watching the guy. I'm phenomenal in college. Yeah, I think he was indeed. 100% indeed. Brent, how much is Z asking for? That I don't know. What he was due, I want to say 13 million. Maybe Kurt Steele knows it. Throw it in the comments section if he's watching. But something like that, I think, is what he was due this year. Sounds like the Lions cut him to try to save about 6 million. So maybe they were offering about 7 million a year. I don't know. That's a great question. All right, let's see. Silver Server Jason, throw him deep, man. Exclamation right now. I wish I could see an Air Cornell type of outing. Our quarterbacks like Dan Fouts, like receivers like Winslow, John Jefferson, and the other Hall of Famers, forgot name? Yeah, it happens, man. But yeah, they had a great offense back in the day. Johnny L. Thunder and Lightning, baby. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Susan, I really hope Raymond, Tesla, and Lovett get some chances to show their speed. I think they will. I don't think the Lions are going to play vanilla or safe. They want to push the envelope. They want to see what these guys have. Can he live up to it? Can he not? You know what? Here's your opportunity. Jason, Vaki to rip off a few 40-yarders. Ooh, that's another person I didn't even think about. But yeah, maybe him coming out of the backfield or something like that. So, my biggest worry for the team is the offensive line. And right now, I would say that's probably a justified concern. The interior offensive line. We are assuming Mahogany can repeat what we saw last year's rookie year. We're all assuming Ratledge is going to live up to the hype. And I'd say there's every amount of reasonable expectations to assume that's going to happen. And then Glasgow, who was a starter here for years, went to Denver, came back, played center and everything else. He did fairly well. Mooscar Blade, good morning. Drew Crew starting lineup. Back at you. Good to see you, man. And from the town so great, they called it twice. Pawpaw. Brett, looking forward to seeing Cooper Jr. Play. Been hearing really good stuff about him. He has had a lot of good reports coming out about him from training camp. How good is he going to be? Well, here's the next opportunity for him to live up to that hype. Daniel can't wait for the real season to start. It's getting closer. Silver Server, they are free of Ragnow salary. Levi is out. No pay. Zettler want $9 million. Why not pay a buck for Z? I heard Macron that the Lions are really trying to see what they got in Cooper before signing free agent. Yeah, it could be that because Cooper, by all reports, has played very, very well in training camp so far. Boots Guy Blade, 71. Your fight was in Las Vegas. I believe that's where it was. What MMA event? So it was this past weekend, Saturday. I don't know the names of all the events or anything. Somebody would have to, Google that or something. Dennis, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew, go Lions. Back at you. Bo, John Jefferson was a guy so talented that he slacked off all the season in half and practiced and still blazed. Hey, sometimes you know what you got. Jessica, good morning. Duke Crew, exclamation point. Woo! Back at you. Pat, good morning, Coach Dan. It's finally a preseason football time. Woo! And oh yeah, I'm down with that. Good to see you this morning. Silver, goodness. I just wrote about having an Air Cornell type of outing, and I wasn't even thinking the Lions are playing the Chargers. Hey, that's where I thought you were going with that, but hey, either way, we got there. Hey, Coach, if there's any chance that natural peptides can keep the injury bug away this year, let me know. I'll pay for it. Boy, that's more Jen's bag than mine, but all I can say is they've done very right by me as far as my, blood pressure, cholesterol and everything else. My numbers keep dropping more and more, so hey, there's probably something to it. Pat, who is the player you are watching tonight? I'm going to be watching them all. I want to see, I treat preseason games when I watch as a fan or televise with you guys, and I won't televise it tonight because Jenna actually said she wanted to watch it, so we'll just watch it. But after this, I'll probably do all of them, do a live cast. Here's what I'll say. I try to watch it from a scouting perspective. I want to look for all the little nuances and go from there. All right, Trim Raver, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Back at you. Michael, it's game day, baby. Exclamation points. Woo! And back at you. Good to see you this morning. Silver Bo Booth, do you happen to remember who was the other great wide receiver with San Diego, the Hall of Famer? We'll find out. Steve Rogers, can't wait to see what some of the new blood can do for the team. I'm with you there. Pat, I was going to be watching number 27, ODFA from GVSU safety, and the left is tackle and defensive end. Yeah, watch them all. And Kennelly, the free agent safety for sure from GVSU. Bo, I'm drawing a blank on that server. It happens. Pat, How much will Morton and Shepard show tonight? Probably keep it pretty vanilla, but though you'll see some tendencies of what they want, but they're not going to show you all the schematics for sure. Allworth or Joyner, or there you go. Let's see, Hookadoo, Morning Dew Crew. Woo! Give me a good news on Z coming back. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's good news, but at least we know that both sides are talking, and, maybe that asking price, the gap between the asking price and what they're wanting is getting a little bit closer. Dory Apple, so is Arnold okay? Seems to be getting hurt a lot. He has, but in my opinion only, Tori, it's the same injury. It's just, he went out after a couple days, kind of flamed it back up a little bit. He just needs to probably rest it up a bit. Pat, can't wait to see how our backup wide receiver are doing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they're going to be doing pretty dang well. We're pretty deep. Mary Smith, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, it's time for some football. Let's go, Lions. Good to see you this morning, Mary. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. DM5, Lions 14-3. Let's start that this week. Bo, I remember Kellen Winslow Sr. was an absolute beast, getting pummeled by linebacker and safeties and getting open. Yeah, and still getting open. He was pretty dang impressive. Pat, are you doing a live cast tonight? Not tonight. At least I don't think so, because Jen's going to watch it. Although if she's only going to kind of watch it, maybe I will. But we'll say it's to be determined. Maybe that. Bo, what up, Duke Crew? What's up, Professor? Still in the house? Silver Pat, don't know if you asked me, but I'll be looking to see what Kamara Vildor does. He is the Chargers running back and the 6th rounder. Lions traded picks to get Vaki in the 4th. I wanted Vilda. There you go. Mark, good morning, Duke Crew. Heading to Harrison today and can be watching the game from campsite. Cannot wait. Go enjoy it, man. Have a great time. Jason, the players in the first thing tomorrow, the podcaster of Destiny. There you go. Dan, the man, the Lions plan. Hey, we'll go through everything tomorrow. Obviously, break it down like everybody else is going to do. We'll try to give you guys some insight, some things to consider in tomorrow morning's show. 5 Variants ready. Good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you. Silver Server. Thanks, Bo. Silver Server. Bo Booth, right. Winslow was revolutionary. Yeah, he was ahead of his curve as far as the tight end back then. Big D, yo, Duke Crew, back at you. Jennifer, good morning, all. Exclamation point. Interesting thumbnail. Well, now you got something to consider. Detroit D, let's go. I'm Ohio, getting ready to drive to Canton. We'll go enjoy it. Yeah, and I know you're heading over there. Hopefully there's a bunch of people you hang out with. Man, just have a great time today there, D. Detroit D's heading over to the game. Brent, Lance Allsworth, and Charlie Joyner, both Hall of Famers. There you go. Big D is happy. Paul, today's the day. Yes, he is. Yes, it is indeed. Bo, Brent, Bingo, Kurt Steele. Inside the Den was really good. I'll have to check it out. I did not get an opportunity yesterday. Trim Raver, are you ready for some football? I think we're all ready for some football there, Trim. Gary, he was made it to the big day. Is Brad looking at anybody from the Chargers? That's a good question. I mean, I know I reference this often, but every NFL team has a scouting department for collegiate ranks and an in-league scouting department. The in-league guys, man, you talk about their work schedule going through the roof. It begins today because they're going to be watching every preseason game, taking notes on player number 90 through number 1 on every team, trying to put a ranking system on them. If this guy gets released, if he's available, we're going after them. And they got to be dang accurate with those grades. It's a high stress job. Phil, inside the Duke Crew. Ooh, maybe that's a good plug for a show. Big D, Mr. Steele, I agree, man. It was a great insight. Okay, there we go. A mega beast. Hey, talking about somebody I haven't seen in a hot minute. Good day and wake up and know there is a game. Hey, it's always great to wake up on game day, isn't it, a mega beast? The Trim Raver, good morning, Professor Steele. Bo Booth, I don't remember if JJ played with Joyner, but I'm sure Allsworth was retired by then. Okay. Chris Steele, the Trim Raver, good morning. Silver Server, Brett DeWitt, exclamation point. Charlie Joyner was the one. Lance was before the Air Cornell movement, I believe. All right. Maybe awesome coach did that for them. Hey, anytime. Yep. There be way. Greetings, salutations to Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you. Harold Howard Jr., let's get it started. That sounds like a good start for a song there. Johnny L. Hookadoo, how is it going this morning? Grit for life. Oh, yeah. Bo Booth. It's called Lance Bammy. All right. Phil, the first advertiser on Lions Talk Live. It is, man. It was. Yeah. Contacted me, asked about doing it. Hey, so why not, man? Try to help out a Duke Crew member. Gary, Brett DeWitt, both great players. No mistake there. Silver Sir, In fact, I'm sure Altsworth had retired Chuck Muncy and Robert Brooks in the backfield. There you go. Hookadoo. Top of the morning, Miles Morgan and Brett DeWitt. When great minds think alike, they come up with grit. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Bo Booth. Chuck Muncy was a load. All right. Silver Server, right, Bambi? All right, the DM5 TV. Hope Hooker plays well tonight and really commands the offense. Me too. I think that would be best for all parties. Silver Server, Ben Johnson is struggling to get the Bears players to buy in. It does sound like that. I know a couple of you guys have asked about bringing back the NFC North news and notes, and maybe we'll start doing that once we get closer to the regular season. Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. And, hey, we obviously got some things to talk about with each of those teams. Both those Charger offenses were incredible, and their defenses were terrible. That might be accurate. Silver Server, I am getting goosebumps going back to those end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s. That's a flashback, feeling young. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Silver Server, Dan Campbell has pulled the reins back because everyone bought in for Detroit. Yes, this is true. They were getting after each other pretty heavily. Phil, Johnson has zero gravitas. He's never played the game. He's never led a team. Well, now he's getting his opportunity. Hookadoo. Morning Man of Steel, I hope he is struggling. Bent over, Johnson deserves it. Well, he is struggling, and like I was saying earlier, Johnson, who used to play for the Lions, offensive guard, is already out injured. That offensive line, I mean, I get they did what they could to fix the offensive line, and nothing wrong with trying to make a move. But a lot of the guys they went for were a little bit older, had some injury histories, and starting to already show itself. I'm Aaron Smith, Kurt Steele. I don't feel sorry for Ben Johnson. I don't think many Lions fans do. By the way, his house just went up for sale over in Detroit. Johnny L., I believe that Ben Johnson bit off more than he could chew. Yeah, I think he was chasing a paycheck for sure. In fact, the dogs are barking and agreeing. Gary, Johnson is going to struggle all season, in your opinion? I hope they do, especially against the Lions. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan the Dooku. What a team, exclamation point. What a podcast. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! Good to see you this morning, as always. Miles Margaret, hiya, Hookadoo. How's the toots? We'll find out. Brett Yade, Bo Booth, like the Bengals now. Kurt Steele, Mary Smith, I'm enjoying the crap show in Chicago. Yes, I think we all are chomping at the bits to play them week 2, man. If we could have played them week 1, that might have been better. But, hey, we'll take them week 2. Summer, right, Bo? Team had identity back then and kept it. No quick fixes as free agency wasn't a thing. No, free agency didn't really kick off to the early 90s? Something like that. JC, greetings, salutations, Drew Crew, exclamation point. Can't wait to see the depth of our team. Let's see it and hope it shines. We're going to do 62, and I finally got a cavity, Miles Mark. Congratulations, I guess. Pierce, Kurt Steele, maybe if Benedict had nail polish, they would buy in. Ooh, well, you got to play down to the team, right? We're up to the team. Cynthia, good morning, all. Exclamation point. So excited for our first game. I think we all are, man. It's like Christmas today, isn't it? Gary, I think all the Lions fans do. Kurt, there you go. Silver Serve. Plus, when they weren't so keen on firing coaches right away and cutting players, it was way more human. Yeah, back in the day when you signed a coach, you usually got about 5 years or so out of them. Now, not so much. It has changed. Miles Bar, are you lucky dog? Exclamation point. That's incredible. Hookadoo. Brett DeWitt. Good morning, Hookadoo. Miles Bar. Grit wins. Exclamation point. Oh, yeah. I'm down with that. There be, the sound of love. The young players are out of control. It might be accurate. Silver, Pierce, Sargent. He put some of it and didn't work. Yeah, he did, and did not work. Big D. I watched the interview with DJ Moore and the Herrick and Bears camp. Rhetoric and Bears camp, excuse me. Ben got the players scared to mess up. Yes, you got to perform. And you know what? You got to allow people. I mean, everybody coaches differently. I get that. There are some people think I'm a complete idiot as a coach. There's also some people think I'm a pretty good coach. What I can tell you is you have to find what works best for you, and then can you sell it to your players, get them to buy in. If you can't, you will not make it as a coach in any sport. Bobo, some great coaches had years of losing before they won. Doesn't happen today. All right. Miles Martyr. Hi, Brett DeWitt, Roar Lions UK live stream for game tonight. There you go. Kurt Steele, Big D, Ben is taking people off the field, and they messed up. Yeah, if they mess up, they get off the field. Hey, it is what it is. Big D, rookies can't be scared to mess up. Man, that's how they learn. Yeah, you learn more in life from making mistakes than you do from success, in my opinion. Dre Day, I hope Hooker balls out to increase our trade value for him. We'll see what they do. Chris Steele, Big D, I know, right? Big D, Steele, yeah, it's messed up. Yes, it is messed up. Pierce, Chris Steele, also not shocked. Jonah Jackson is already hurt for the Bears. Knew that wasn't going to work. And apparently it has not worked. Coach Tiny K, Coach and Duke Crew, let's go Lions, exclamation point. I'm ready for the game. Hey, hopefully everything is okay with you and the family. I know you're going through a bit. Hopefully the game provides a little bit of a segue and escape out of that. Good to see you, Coach K. Hassani Madley. Hey, Coach Dan Duku, thank you for your hard work and the great show. Hey, anything, anytime. I enjoy it. We're going to be watching tonight. So, hey, you know what? We're going to be watching tonight. I'm sure Jen can come up to the office and watch it. We'll do the live cast tonight. So, hey, we've got some breaking news for you guys. We'll do a live cast. All right, we'll set up seats up here and we can all watch it together and have some fun with it. So let's just make it happen. Trim Reaver, is in the spoon that bends? We'll find out. Big D, morning, Mr. Madley. Mary Smith, Pierce Sargent, that's funny. If he had not been covering, he might have been a little better. Yeah, maybe. Brett, thanks, Miles Meyer. Didn't know that, and now you know, and knowing is half the battle. There, BOA. I can't wait to see what Hendon Hooker can bring to the table. Let's find out. The Train River, good morning, Mr. Hassan. Kurt Steele, Pierce Sargent. I like Jonah, but he is the walking wounded. He got a big bag in LA and was only there a year before the injuries. Yeah, he got injured often, and remember, he got moved out of the starting lineup because it was not going well for him. Hookadoo, you can say sweep when we play the Bears this year! Exclamation point. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Miles Mark, Hassan Madley, looking forward to seeing your boy tonight. There we go. Moonscar, I see Brian Flores is hyping up cornerback Jeff Okudah. How seriously he is taking this offseason. Maybe Jeff will get more than 10 tackles this season. When he was with Detroit, I thought Jeff Okudah would be a phenomenal free safety. I thought they had him out of position as a cornerback. It didn't click for him. But anytime the Lions did basically give him the flexibility to keep eyes forward, I thought he played great. I'll always reference the game down in Dallas. He had something stupid like 10 or 12 tackles, a couple pass breakups. I was like, man, I can't be the only idiot seeing this, but it is what it is. They wanted to keep Tracy Walker and somebody else in the back, but maybe it was Kirby Joseph back then. I don't know. But I'm rooting for Jeff Okudah. Obviously not when he plays the Lions, but I like the guy. Brent, greetings from Michigan, Mr. Hassanin. Dre Day, Hutch is going to be the $50 million a year man. Next contract might be accurate there. Very accurate. Pierce, Chris Steele also really liked him when he was healthy. That was just away. The problem, then he got his back. Yeah, indeed. Kurt Steele, oh yeah, says to Hookadoo. Johnny L. Sonic and Knuckles, Thunder and Lightning. We'll go with all the above. DM5 TV. I say, man, looking forward to see what your son does tonight. There you go. Miles Myers, sweep, beep, beep. We'll be sweeping the beep, beeps. Carrie, I just wanted to see Hooker stay settled and throw accurate. We'll go with that. Kurt Steele, Pierce Sargent. So true. Silver Server, Kurt Steele. If he is pulling players for mistakes, really, that is not the best premise. We shall see how that unfolds. Hey, I hope they fall on their face repeatedly. Okay, Mr. Hassanin, good afternoon, and thank you for bringing our grit. There we go. Bring the grit onto the field. Bo Booth, do we have another bet of the century? No, we haven't seen that dude here in a long time, even though I think I've blocked about now 60 of his accounts. Yeah, we haven't seen the name that won't be mentioned. Johnny L. B2 DM5. There BOA, I'll be watching to see what all the younger guys can do. Oh, yeah, I'm done with that. Don, my eyes will be on Giovanni Manu tonight. Don Burr has eyes only for Giovanni Manu. And I think you're right, Don Burr. We all are going to want to see how much he's ascended and improved. Really, can this guy in another year or two be the replacement for Taylor Decker? If he can just be a competent backup, that's probably win. Silver Server, Hassan Madley, good day, sir. Yes, I'm down with that. Dan, let's just hope we don't need the backup quarterback to ever play. That would be great, wouldn't it? Kurt Steele, Silver Server, I told you guys, mark my words, Ben is more Patricia than Dan Campbell. Might be very, very true. Brent, Kurt, yes, sir, Kurt. Shades of Show in Chicago has me. There you go. There we go. Yes, the show in Chicago. Pierce Don Burr, good spot for sure. Mine will be there. And Hassanin, we might need to Ahmed to start. Maybe in time. If he gets ready for that, hey, let him start. Silver Server is okay with that. Dre Day Hutch was excited. His first game was against the Packers. There will be no love in Green Bay. No, I'd say you're probably accurate with that. Gary, mine too, Don Burr. There BOA. Hutch will be a monster, exclamation point, but not tonight, though. Correct. He'll be sitting on the sideline. Kurt Steele, Brett DeWitt, laughing out loud. Pierce, Kurt Steele. I was always compared Benedict Johnson, Josh McDaniels 2.0. That might be a very good analogy there. Phil, if Chicago has shown us this, I wonder what the chatters are saying. Yeah, I wonder if you talk to Chicago Bears fans what their thoughts are right now. It's probably not good, but you know what? It's still not the regular season, so wait and see. We're going to do Bo. I think she's broke after last year. Might be accurate. Kurt Steele, Pierce Sargent agreed a better OC than a head coach. Or there you go. Trim Reaver, thank you, Davenport, for all you do. Hey, working hard out there. Pierce, Kurt Steele, not a leader of men. All right. Brent, I'm not a bear down. I'm a bear meltdown. It might be a bear meltdown going on. Hi, Miss Silver Server said Hassady Manley. Don Burr, Pierce, definitely, exclamation point. But I need to see improvement from Giovanni Matthew. Decker is 31 and should have something to show us, unlike Broder Martin. Yeah, I hope, selfishly, Don, I hope both Manu and Martin excel this preseason. Kurt Pierce Sargent, that's what I said. I don't see him as a leader like AG. All right. DM5TV, the Trim Reaper, Denport, 12 sacks this season. Book it. It is booked, and we'll take a note of it. Sir, I like the miss. Sorry. There you go. Pierce, Kurt Steele, I work with both Bears and Jets fans. Both set mass, for my opinion, told them the Jets made out better. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like Aaron Glenn as a leader. Ben Johnson, maybe he'll evolve to it, but right now I'd say they've got to have some questions in Chicago. All right, Kurt Steele, Tim Patrick has said he was struggling. Yeah, and it does sound like that's coming right from his lips, for sure. Kerry, first year as head coach has a learning curve. It does. For most people, it does 100%. There's a massive difference, and I'm speaking from experience, between being on the sideline as assistant and being the person that has to make all the calls. Kurt Steele, Pierce Sargent, you're right. I'll go with that. Don Burr, Kurt is talking facts, and about Ben is not hating. I just think it's Ben is more of an OC than a head coach. Correct with that. I'm down with that. All right, Pierce, Kurt Steele, I see Tanner as more of a leader of men than Benedict. Might be accurate. Hassany Manley, let's go Lions. It's praying for no injuries. Yeah, let's hope both teams get out of this healthy, no issues. All right, we're going to You're right, Miles Barker. Beep, beep. Bye-bye, Coyotes. All right, there be white. I kind of concerned about Tim Patrick, but Glasgow really worries me. We'll see what shakes out. Kerry, that's why they got Colleen. There you go. DM5, Glasgow looked old and tired at training camp. Might be true. He is getting up there. Let's make no mistakes. Don Burr, Glasgow is fine. Tim Patrick as well. Savvy vets know how and when to turn it on and turn it on and down. All right, we'll see if they can turn it on. Pierce, Don Burr, I just don't see Ben as a leader either. Great X and O's guy, but that only has the battle as head coach. Yeah, it's not the only battle as head coach for sure. Silver coach, apparently Jackson Meeks was by far the best wide receiver in college as far as contested catches. On top of that, he is tall as JMO, but weighs 35 pounds more than him, continues to the next level. Yeah, he's got a skill set that most of the other receivers don't for Detroit. That's why he's got a chance. We'll see what shakes out. Everybody's got a chance right now, though. Anymore, off to see the optometrist for new glasses. Y'all have a glorious day, and let's go, Lions. One pride. We'll see you tonight, man, on the live cast. And, yeah, I'll have the live cast. All right, I'm going to have to speed through here since we got like 7 minutes left, get some people that haven't been on as much. Brent, Colin seems to be look like a serviceable backup. Maybe. I haven't seen him enough yet. Gary, true. Brent, Phil, is Z's agent the roadblock? He could be a part of it. Coach Tiny K, Z Smith all day, coach. We'll take that. Miles Martin, hey, more good luck. There you go. DM5. Z isn't going to get the big contract if he wants to be here and win a Super Bowl. He needs to sign near the vet minimum. We'll see if that's what happens. All right, there be way. It's game day. You're not wrong. Phil, let's talk Lions. Hey, that could be another new show. Lionel Superstar, good evening, salutations, Coach Duke Crew Worldwide. Exclamation point. Game day is finally here. Woo! Lightning and Thundercats. Ho! I'm down with that. Don Burr. So is it possible Super Bowl year? Cut two sure vet wide receivers and keep seventh rounder and an undrafted wide receiver. Shake my head. Yeah, I don't know. Let the battles happen in camp and see where everybody falls. Bo, I believe we have a great rotation already. Judon or Z will be a part of it if the right price. Denport is going to be the real deal. I hope you're right with that. Pierce, Bo Booth, DDI caused no signings. Maybe. Let's see. Roar. Hey, Coach, what would you have for tonight? Wingstop or B-dubs? Ooh, I'm going to go with B-dubs. I like B-dubs, especially the Parmesan garlic wings. Ziggy and friends, are you ready for some football? Question mark. Good morning, Captain Dan and the Duke crew. And back at you. DM5, it's hooker time. Let's take that. Mary Smith, my opinion is Z if he wants to play for Detroit and he's not a young man in his 20s. Stop holding out, trying to get more money. I'm quite sure Brad Holmes has offered a fair deal. That might be accurate. Let's see what shakes out. I hope they work it out. Leonard, great salutations, Coach Duku. Here is the hotel in Ohio. Can't wait for kickoff. Wearing Detroit Lions swag. People here knew we were from Michigan and Detroit Lions fans. Go Lions. Yeah, if you're wearing the gear, they probably know. But, hey, have fun at the game tonight, man. Have a great time. Phil Harbaugh is no slouch. Are the Chargers a competitive team? I think they are, man. And, especially this time of year, everybody's just going to let everything fly. Kerry, Wright Pierce, just looking for some people that haven't been on as much. Brett, we'll learn a lot about Ben or Johnson when the Teddy Bears have the extended losing streak. Hardest time to keep a grip on the locker room. No, you're 100% right with that. When you start losing, people start worrying. Kerry, Raymond, Phil, we'll go with that. Johnny L, hey, thank you very much for this. Thank you very much. All right, and just for that, let's give you a 1, 2, and a 3. Johnny, from the bottom of my heart, thank you from all of my heart. Dominic, good morning from Fort Worth, T5. Hey, glad to see you this morning. I know it's early. Thank you for making the show as all you do and being a part of the Do Crew. Phil, Johnny L, great support. Thank you. I concur. Ron, rain in Ken expected to end around 5 p.m. Man, that's great timing. DM5 TV, 71. Where did you fight? I couldn't find it. It was in Vegas. At least I'm pretty sure it was there. But as far as, all the other stuff, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. You guys could look it up, though. Hookadoo, Johnny L, didn't see you at the top of the morning, Mr. Grip. We'll find out. Hossie Medley, if Hookadoo, it will be 3 a.m. Friday for sure. I will pray for Lions. Go Lions. I'm down with that. Adoris Fields, I am Brad We Trust. Good to see you, man. It's been a hot second since we've seen you. Good to see you on the chat. Johnny Gas Sports, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, happy first preseason game day. Exclamation point. Who's excited for actual football today? I think I am too. Chris Steele, I am here, and there you are. Johnny L, I'm loving this Lions Talk Live. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Trim Reaver, what up, Johnny Gas? We'll find out. Hookadoo. Good morning, Mr. Hasley. I can't wait to see Ahmed on the play. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Pat, nothing better than Lions football and camping. Game on fire, burning, great time. Had to be a Lions fan. It is a great time to be a Lions fan. I hope everybody has a great time watching the game tonight. Kerry, hey, Gaz, man. Buzz, I call BS on Patrick. He's a baller. Yeah, I can only tell you what he's saying and what the reporters are saying. I think he's going to be fine, but you're going to have a lot of competition for those spots. Phil, don't drop that blood pressure too low, Coach. I'll try not to take it too low. Let's see. Other people haven't been on as much. Chad the Historian. Hey, Dan, happy Hall of Fame game day. Let's flipping go. Restore the war. I'm thinking we're restoring it right now. Brett, let's see. Kurt Steele, Brett DeWitt, no problem. Phil, this game is more of a joint practice. That's probably accurate. That's a good way to describe it. Gerald Howard, Charlie Garner, Joyner was number 1. Eric Cornell. There you go. Chad the Historian. I have Phil and Kurt. Buzz, we don't need Smith. We might not get Smith. So there you go. Trimmer, drop that like button, brother. Yeah, if you can, hit the like, the subscribe, all that stuff. Jason, Kurt, the real deal, man of steel in the house. That is true. East Side Detroit, if Glasgow is the starting center, is Tristan Colleen the backup for this team? Might be. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what all shakes out in the next month. Derek, there are several unsigned centers available. Maybe if they don't sign Z, a backup center instead. Yeah, could be where they go in time. Kerry, don't call me Shirley. We'll try to avoid that. Cookadoo, laughing at Kerry. Kurt Steele, Kerry, Lard. All right, Michael. Contract demands from aging players is usually a red flag in today's sports. It might be accurate, 100%. David, game time tonight. Yeah. Woo! I'll take all the above. Mr. Detroit City, keep up the great work, Coach Dan. I do the best I can. Hopefully it works for some. And thank you for that, Mr. Detroit City. Leonard, offensive line is more critical in keeping golf upright than investing in Z, in my opinion. Could be a good opinion. Lions bad guy fan. I'm late, but I'm near rewind time after the show. Hey, nothing wrong with that. And woo! Thank you for being here as always. Mr. Detroit City, everyone check out that Hat and Beard show live 10 a.m. weekdays if you need a scratch or itch after Lions Talk Live. Yeah, not a bad idea there. Not a bad idea at all. David, Ben Johnson is getting paid $13 million a year for 5 years. Who wouldn't go take that job? I would probably, begrudgingly take that job. Gary, eat the cheese crap out of the next week. Well, let's see what we do. Pierce, David, he is making more than MCDC. I think he is. I think that is accurate. Bo, breaking news, live cast tonight. Yeah, I'll have a live show for you guys tonight. If you want to join, I'll get it up, and then you guys can join the links and all that stuff. Let's see, Leonard, we're playing all the teams 2 to 3 conferences. Did anyone else notice this, or is this normal? I think just because of our record last year. Coach Johnny K, we lost my mom, but she came back to us. That is good part of everything now and to try and recover from the damages incurred. Thanks, Coach, for your care. And no, the Duke Crew's got your back. You need anything, you let us know. Silver Surfer, you are right, Coach. Safety would be perfect for Okuda. Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw him, but just for whatever reason, it just never happened. Phil, did Houston catch on with Dallas? He did sign there. I don't know if he's still there, but I know he did sign there. Brent, prayers for Coach Tiny K. Kurt Steele, hey, Coach, his name is the Rebel 08. There you go. And thank you for that, Kurt Steele. Mr. Trade State, let's go Lions. Bane, laughing out loud. Bears, hey, Bane. Yeah, I'm down with that. Blandino, we got Jack Campbell is about to have a huge year. I agree with you. I think he's going to have a very big year. Leonard, it's cloudy, though. Okay, creative idea. The other person I haven't seen, I had to say it. 13 and 16 charges. I will be happy. Nobody gets injured. Let's go. I'm down with that. 100%. Bears fans in Iowa are not optimistic. I could probably understand that. Bobo, Happy Trail, Dude Crew, all done and dusted for another day. See it later. Yeah, we'll see it tonight, my friend. Brent, One Pride Worldwide, Carey, Manu, Hooker, Jones, love it. Tesla, Hassanin, watch them all. We're going to be watching them. Phil, great support this morning. Thanks for hitting the likes. Yeah, thanks for all you guys doing the Dude Crew. Hooker, Happy Trails, Dude Crew, One Pride, One Wild, Roar Detroit. We're roaring. Phil, do something kind today. Traverse City is still shocked, but the TC strong. Yeah, sorry about, man, the situation at that Walmart. That's crazy. Miles Mart, One Pride, Trim Reaper. Surely you will have a great day, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! I'm hoping so. All right, guys, I will have a live cast up tonight. Jen and I will set up camp. Hey, it'll just be kind of a fun one. I'll do some play-by-play. Jen will probably get on the mic a little bit, or maybe I'll make her get on the mic. But, hey, let's all just have some fun tonight. Watch the Lions, watch the guys, get our eyes going, get ready for the regular season. Do me a favor before you check on out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. We'll see you all tonight for the Lions' first preseason game, the Hall of Fame game. Take care. Have a good one. See you later tonight.
Excuse me, sir. Would you... Donations to the Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus? Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism? How Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology? Or nuclear power?